Want to get started coding with React Native? Well, you're in the right spot because today we're going to be learning how to set up our dev environment for Node.js, React Native, and Expo. So stay tuned. Welcome back to another video, devs, and if it's your first time here, I am Akash from Fire App Dev, where I teach you how to code full-stack applications with React Native and Firebase. If that is something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos just like this one. And without further ado, today we're going to be learning how to set up our React Native dev environment. Now, this is going to be an important video because next week I'm coming out with a full stack app tutorial on building a to-do list app, again using React Native and Firebase. And this video right here is the basic setup for that. So follow along, pause the video if you need to, and let's get started setting up our environment. So before we get started with anything else, we got to go ahead and install Node.js. And for the purposes of this video, I'll say that Node.js helps you run JavaScript on your computer. So let's go ahead and click download for Windows 64 because that's what I'm on. And if you're on a different system, it should show you how to download it for that. And get the download, save it in a folder. Let's go ahead and click it. And Node should start up its installation wizard and do some background stack. And there it is. Node's done doing that. So just hit next, accept terms, next, choose a folder to save it to, hit next. You want to make sure you're getting all of these. Add to path especially is important. Click next. Check that box, automatically install the necessary tools. Click next. And you're going to click install. I already have Node.js installed, so I'm not going to do that, but you should obviously go ahead and click install. Now, once Node.js is installed, we're going to check that it is real quick. Okay, once you have Node installed, you want to make sure it's installed properly. Just type in node-v in command prompt or terminal. You should see a version. Next, Node also installs something called NPM, or the Node Package Manager. Let's make sure that's installed by doing npm-v. NPM is called the Node Package Manager, and it's basically a repository of code that other people have worked on, little packages of code that they throw up on the internet because they thought it might help you. React Native and Expo or some of these pieces of code that people throw up on NPM. So all open source code you're going to need to use for your React Native app, you're probably going to find it on NPM, so you want to make sure this is working properly. So now that we have Node and NPM installed, we want to go to reactnative.dev. Again, the website for nodejs.org and reactnative.dev are in the description down below in case you want to access that quickly. But once you're in reactnative.dev, go ahead and click Get Started and go to Environment Setup and setting up the development environment. You're going to see a few commands here that you're going to want to run. The first command is npm install-g Expo CLI. So let's go ahead and run that. What this is doing is it's installing Expo globally on your computer. Now, if you have no idea what Expo is, it's pretty much a framework that's built to help your life as a React Native developer a lot easier. It helps you set up your project, to run your project and test it, and to deploy it as well. If you want to learn more about Expo, you can check out my video on that. I'll put it somewhere in the cards or down in the description, so you could go ahead and check that out. It's an important video if you're getting started with React Native. Now, you can also work with React Native without the Expo CLI, but I would not recommend it for a beginner. Expo just makes your life a lot easier. So I'll be right back once Expo is done installing. All right, cool. We have Expo installed properly. So we could check whether it's installed or not just by typing Expo. And you should see the list of commands available via Expo. We're not going to be using any of these right now. This is just to make sure it's installed properly. Cool, now we're at the point where we can actually start getting the React Native code itself set up. So hope you're excited to get started. The first thing you want to do is go to the directory that you want your project in. So I'm just going to navigate there real quick. Let's see which folder I'm doing this in. Oh, whoops, it's in content. All right, so we're in the desired directory. If you're new to the terminal, the command for that is cd and the path you want to go to. Next, you have to type in the command that's on the React Native docs, which is expo init and the name of the project you want. So I'm going to type in expo init my app. I almost typed in my ass there by mistake. Okay, right here it's going to ask you whether you want to go with the managed workflow or bare workflow. Again, if you want to know what's what with these, go check out my Expo video. But for today's purposes, we're going to be going with the blank managed workflow. So just hit enter. And it's going to install all the dependencies you need for that. Okay, cool. Expo should be done with its job, and it's going to show you a bunch of commands you can run to actually get started looking at your app. There's yarn start, or in your case, it should be npm start, or npm run Android, npm run iOS, or npm run web. Now, if you want to use the Android or iOS commands, you're going to want to have Expo downloaded on your device to test that. I'm not going to be going over that today. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to be running it on the web. So let's just go ahead and run npm run web. Why this is not working? That's why. Stupid mistake I made. You got to actually go into the directory of the app. So do cd and the name of whatever sample app you created. So I'm going to hit cd my app. And now I'm going to do npm run web. Stupid mistakes like these is the reason why mobile and web development take way longer than they should be taking. But it happens quite often. And there you go. It should be launching a website right on your browser. It's a localhost :19002. And it should just take a second to set up right there. You should see a QR code. Now, if you have Expo downloaded on your app, you'd be able to scan this QR code and pretty much test out the app on your phone. But since we're doing it on the web, we'll give it another second. There you go. It's loading up on the web. And there it is. There's our app. So just so it looks like an app, what you want to do is right-click on Chrome, click Inspect, and view it in the mobile form. If yours is not doing that automatically, if yours is still in web form like this, you want to go right up here at the top bar of your console and click Toggle Device Toolbar or Control-Shift-M, and you should be able to pick your device up here. I'm going with the iPhone 10. And there you go. We have a little Expo app working. Real quick, let's go take a look at the code. Now, you might be wondering why we never actually installed React Native itself. That's because Expo took care of it for us. So if we look at the folder structure, we have something called package.json. Package.json is the file in your project that NPM uses to manage all the dependency names. So with the Expo init, we already have the Expo dependency installed, the Expo status bar. We have React, React DOM, React Native, and React Native Web, which is the reason we're able to simulate this app on your browser. Now going onward, we have your basic app.js, and this is your first look at some React Native code. So let's go ahead and try to change some text on the screen. We'll say, hello, Fire App Devs. Go ahead and save that, and as soon as you save that, it should be updating right here. And look at that, refreshed, and it says, hello, Fire App Devs, just like that. Almost magical. So we'll be going over more of the structure in next week's video where I show you how to build the app from scratch. But for now, let's take a look at more of the folder structure. We also have this node modules folder, which is where all these dependencies and the package.json are installed. Whenever you install something using NPM or Yarn, it's going to be installed in this node modules folder. Now, the reason you're seeing a lot of packages here and a few right here is because all these packages have a bunch of dependencies of their own. So Node makes sure and installs all of those. So it's going to look thick with 3 C's. But shitty jokes aside, you pretty much have your React Native app set up. So I encourage you to go ahead and play around with this. Try changing the text. Try going through the React Native docs and going through some of their tutorials and taking a look at how things work with React Native, because this is officially your first React Native app. So as all first apps go, let's be the basic dev and type in hello world before I finish this off. Save it. And we'll give it a second, and there you go. Auto refreshes to hello world. So there you have it, guys. There's your dev environment set up. And if anything went wrong or you have any questions about this, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. I will take a look at it and help you out. And there you have it. You have your React Native dev environment set up and you're ready to code. And give yourself a pat on the back because you pretty much coded your first app. And if you want to keep continuing this, you can follow it on next week, where I'll be turning this base project into a full stack to-do list app. And if you're trying to learn how to code React Native, you're not going to want to miss that one. Otherwise, if this video helped you at all, and if you have a dev environment set up, please do your homie a favor and hit that like button down below so other people can get their React Native environment set up as well. And with that said, I'll see you all next week.